Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. The question says which of the following statements is false with respect to ADA deficiency? Now, option A says patient requires periodic infusion of genetically engineered lymphocytes because it is immortal. Option B says enzyme replacement therapy requires injection of functional ADA. Option C says bone marrow transplantation is not completely cured. Option D says at early embryonic stages, gene isolated from marrow cells are introduced into cells. This provides a permanent cure. Now, what does the question say? The question says we have to look for false statement, and this should be with respect to ADA deficiency. Now, before we look for the false statement, first of all, we have to understand what is ADA. ADA is an enzyme which is called as adenosine deaminase. And why are we talking about it? What is so important about it? Adenosine deaminase is an enzyme which plays a role in our immune response. Okay? Immune response, that means in case of the defense mechanism. And this enzyme is actually produced by lymphocytes. Lymphocytes. Okay, what are lymphocytes? These are type of WBCs, right? You have various WBCs like neutrophils, you have basophils, etc. So among them, you also have lymphocytes, okay, like T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. So these lymphocytes, they have the kept gene for adenosine deaminase. And because of that, they are very important with respect to our immune response, that is defense mechanism. But in certain people, you can see that this ADA gene is mutated. Mutated ADA gene. In such case, what will happen? No enzyme production, no ADA enzyme. If no ADA enzyme, what will happen? There will be a condition which is called as SCID, that is severe combined immunodeficiency. Okay, so that is why. So people have now, scientists have come up with a cure where they have used gene therapy. So they have used gene therapy where they can take the gene for ADA gene and that is for ADA enzyme and introduce into the lymphocyte, and further that will be expressed in the human body. Okay, but that can be introduced if it is introduced at early embryo stage, early embryonic stage, then you can say that it will be a permanent cure. Okay, but otherwise, if we directly just give it to adult, okay, then it will not be like, it will be effective, but it will not be a permanent cure. Okay, so apart from this, not apart from gene therapy, now people are also doing, like, before this people were also using injections of these enzymes, okay, from external source. Okay, but then again, that is not permanent cure. So let us see. So we have to look for in false statement. Option A says patient requires periodic infusion of genetically engineered lymphocytes because it is immortal. So they are not immortal, they are also cells, they are also lymphocytes. They have particular lifespan, and after that they will die. So yes, they need periodic infusion, because though they are genetically engineered, if we have administering to adults, then we have to keep infusing every now and then whenever it is required, because these cells are mortal, not immortal. Hence it is incorrect statement, but that is the correct answer for our question, because we have to look for false statement. Option B says enzyme replacement therapies require injection of functional ADA. Yes, we have to give functional enzyme to the patients, but this is not a permanent solution. This is the correct statement. Okay. Option B says bone marrow transplantation is not completely cured. Like, it doesn't completely cure ADA. Okay. Why they are doing bone marrow transplantation? Because in bone marrow only these WBCs will be produced, right? Okay. So if we, and these WBCs which are produced in bone marrow, they are not, if at all they have mutant ADA, what do? They transplant the bone marrow with the marrow which consists of which can produce lymphocytes with ADA. Okay, that means which can produce lymphocytes which will contain normal ADA, and it will produce enzymes. But again, this is not cured completely. Okay, so it is not an answer, but the statement is correct. Option D says at early embryonic stage, gene isolated from marrow cells are introduced into the cells. This provides permanent cure. So as I told you, at early embryonic stage, if we introduce this, cells with ADA gene, then it will be taken up by all the cells, and after the embryo, like as the embryo grows into the baby, or the entire all the body cells will be having that particular gene. So this is also correct statement, but our answer we are looking for false statement. So false statement is what? That is option A. So let us conclude that is option A is the correct answer, but it is a false statement. I hope you understood the explanation. Thank you, everyone.